ethic in practice, and his leadership in that group has really emerged as of late. And you know, a guy who's I think he's a fourth-year player. He's a redshirt junior. He's seen the ups and downs. He's seen good Clemson teams and bad Clemson teams, and he knows what it's about. And as we go forward, I think that's a guy who's going to emerge as a really good leader for this football team.
Was Boyd's time today, was that solely based on Parker's, I guess, play and poor decision making, or is that when you wanted to get Boyd in the game today?
A little bit of both. You know, I think we planned on playing him, and it just happened to be after the interception. And when he was in there, obviously we didn't play very well around him and all that, but we did throw him in there in that first drive. I thought he did a good job, and it's invaluable for that kid to get out there and win the games on the line and kind of get a feel for what it was about. But you know, when your quarterback outside of the interception today shows up and plays the way he did, I think you got to be excited that you had the old Kyle Parker back.
Yeah, it seemed like some guys might play better when they're mad. Maybe that lit a spark under him. He said he was a little upset when he got taken out of the game there. Maybe
most quarterbacks are. You know, if you got anything about you, you are. That kid's got a lot about him. So, biggest thing is that I think his teammates they were watching him and seeing how he's going to respond to that. And if anything, he made more of a believer in them than ever.
Does it feel good that the defense has got you back on days like this when things just don't go the way you planned them in the first half?
Well, I mean, we felt like going into this year that our defense was going to be the strength of the team, and it was going to be some ugly days at times, But today was a good example of that. But you won the game, but I mean, I'm going to still evaluate the same. We still had some turnovers, and still missing kicks, and still had a delayed game. And those turnovers and delayed games, we got to get rid of that. That's our. Those are things that we can manage, and we'll go back and work on those things starting this week.
Do you think getting over that hurdle of getting into the end zone, getting some points in the third quarter there, how big was that in the sense that it just seemed like you were running to a brick wall every time you got into the red zone in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, in particular, looking back at what happened last week, to respond and go make a play. Kyle did a great job standing in there. Nick gets open. It's a play we talked about on Thursday that we felt like, hey, this is how it's going to work out, and practiced it, and it was perfect. So, we're having to earn a lot right now. I mean, we're not getting those chunks. I mean, I think we had in the first half 2 12-play drives and a 14-play drive. I mean, it's just 4 yards, 5 yards, 8 yards. I mean, it's different than maybe the way it was last year. But the thing that we got to make sure that we're looking at is, hey, we fumble the ball, or we throw an interception. We give up a pressure, things that are simple. And, guys may play when they had a chance today, and you got it done. So,
Kyle's back up to over 7 yards an attempt today. What does that speak to?
Speaks to just good play around him, and then good play by him, making plays when he had a chance. More incompletions you throw, obviously. He was high completion percentage.
20-29.
Yeah, so, and not to mention the touchdown that was called back and all that. So the screen that was called back on third down. I mean, there was plays today that ended drives that were penalty plays. And whether or not how bad they were, I won't know until I see the tape. But you turn the ball over and you have some penalties like that. That's what you're going to get.
Did he do a better job of sticking the pocket and
I thought he did. Thought he did a great job standing in there. Made some great plays in that second half.
What do you think the reason was that? Because it seemed like it was what I call the old Kyle Parker. He just stayed in there the last minute, took a hit, and threw the ball well. What was the reason you think it turned it around for him?
Well, I think he grew up a lot last week. I think he learned, hey, this ain't an easy game, and just like the check down in the red zone at Jamie right there. That was like, hey, I've learned. I'm not going to force that ball. He checked it down to Jamie right there, and that was a huge conversion on third down. I mean, that I think he learned from last week. Hey, look, he's got to go play the game, and he learned. He's grown up a lot. He's still a second-year guy. He's not a
4-year senior.
He's still. He had great players around him last year and played really well at times. He's played good at times this year, but I think he's got to dig in and get back to the little things. And he played with no fear in that second half. I say that. That's what he's got to do to get it done.